open your mind and journey through the cosmos of the universe. This is Bridging Realms with Dr. Gene Carlisle and False Freedom 691.
Welcome back to another episode of Bridging Realms. My name is Dr. Gene Carlisle.
And I'm False Freedom 691.
And we are in a crazy world, listeners. This is 2019 is fucking crazy. And there's a lot of stuff in the news, a lot of crazy stuff going on in politics, in conspiracy, right? And a lot of crazy stuff going on with disclosure.
Yeah, for sure. Tom DeLonge actually just landed like a fucking military contract.
Yeah, Tom DeLonge's doing some crazy shit. I can't tell, and it sounds like, ufology and conspiracy land, they can't tell either if he is controlled opposition or if he is legit, and is working to get disclosure out there. But fuck, he leaked something from the U.S. Navy, which seemed to, kind of piss them off. And then he's fucking working with the Army. It's like he's gonna pit these two military organizations against each other. What the fuck's going on with this?
It's kind of like he was sucking the Navy's dick, but they had a blindfold on, so they couldn't see the Army was fucking him from behind. So see, the Navy didn't just want their cock sucked. They wanted to full on fuck Tom DeLonge, like the Army was getting to. So then
Right.
the Navy's furious about it. The Navy is furious that they can't dick Tom DeLonge in the ass, that they only get mouth access, So that's what the whole deal was. That's metaphorically speaking, the Navy was tired of just getting sucked off and wanted some real ass fucking.
Right, I can see that completely. I mean, I really think Tom DeLonge needs to watch both his asshole and his mouth hole here, because he's getting fucked. He could be getting used to, disseminate this false information to us, this narrative that they want about UFOs and extraterrestrials,
Yeah, and the Air Force is sitting there gauging out his pee hole, and they're gonna fuck him in his pee hole.
Probably, yeah. They're ready for it. Coast Guard's just watching. They're just watching, voyeur style is what they're doing. It's all a show, ladies and gentlemen. Don't believe any of the bullshit that you see or the bullshit that you hear on the TV about what's going on. I think maybe they want this space metal too. He may be getting fucked so they can steal the space metal.
Oh yeah, Tom, this is a warning. They are going to gangbang you to oblivion while the National Guard steals the space metal. And we haven't even talked about the Marine Corps yet.
Oh fuck, dude! I forgot about the Marines. They're ripe and ready. And I don't even trust that Lou Elizondo isn't in on this. With that flavor saver of a fucking goatee he's got, he's ready to eat some ass, dude.
In his line of work, you've always got to be ready to eat ass, and a flavor saver is practically a requirement. But while he's eating ass, he can look up towards the sky, and in a scenario like they're currently living in, he's probably going to see some mysterious lights.
That's true. That's true. You're going to watch the skies a lot when you're studying UFOs, unidentified flying objects, and UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena. We do that a lot here at Bridging Realms. A lot of our week is spent going out and, filming and watching the night sky. And we're going to be getting to releasing some of that footage. I know I pick up a lot of strange lights. I know, and False does too. He has extensive footage of the moon. This guy has filmed the moon so much. If you're familiar with the work of such YouTube mavericks as Crow 777 and their work filming the moon, False has done similar work, and he's, from what I understand, he's pretty convinced it's not what we say it is. So we'll have a moon episode coming up.
It's a fucking hologram.
So it could be a hologram, right? And
No, could be. It's a hologram.
so that's what we're going to talk about today. There's a lot of things being seen in the sky, especially if you frequent Reddit. Are UFOs, are aliens, mainly are UFOs. Daily there's fucking just lights in the sky being posted, right? Formations, weird movements, lights doing all kinds of weird shit and having weird effects on the people. And it's just, they're rolling in all the time. This is all over the internet. And so I feel like the frequency of these lights showing up it's getting more frequent, right? The frequency is increasing.
Yeah, for sure. There was a big sighting in Arkansas just last week. Looked like a fleet of like 5 ships of some sort, but they're just like bright burning lights. And then it was reported to be a meteor shower over Detroit, Michigan, and you can't see the sky over Detroit, Michigan from Arkansas.
Yeah, shit, that's way too far there. You're not gonna see that. That's a bullshit explanation, and that when you get into UFOs, folks, you're gonna have a lot of these bullshit explanations, and we wanted to talk about that today, like the bullshit explanations for UFOs, especially for just strange light formations, because in the dark at night you're not going to see this UFO mainly. You're not going to see the body of the ship as well. You're just going to see these lights. And authorities tend to explain away these lights with this bullshit that we are just really tired of hearing. In our research, we have to comb through so goddamn much of it, and we're just tired of reading so many like, oh, it was swamp gas, it was fucking lights reflecting off of ice crystals in the fog from a nearby highway or some shit like that, which that's the description for every one of these mysterious lights, you know?
Yeah, lots of lights from the city just visible within the country and reflecting off a nearby body of water and appearing to float.
Right, it's such bullshit. Like, we have read so many of these, and you know, we just start to discount them so quickly now. We don't even fully read it in our research. We just skim away because these are just stock answers. You know, it's really insulting, I think, to the experiencer. Right.
Right. It really is. It's pretty much like killing somebody's dad in front of them, and then coming up to them with an ice cream cone and taking a lick and then handing it to them.
Yeah, that's a really extreme and dark example, but it's very much like that. I would agree. It's insulting, and it's not taking into account, that they had a traumatic experience. They could have seen something extraterrestrial, interdimensional, or paranormal. It depends on what kind of lights you're looking at in the sky. And we're going to get into those today, the different kinds of lights that people are seeing in the sky. They could be any of those categories, right, Falls?
Right, they totally can, and we've got some great specific examples that we'll tell you about today. Dr. Gene and I have studied lights of all sorts extensively. I'm staring at a light fixture right this moment, and I can tell you what a floating light is compared to a light bulb. I can identify it just that quick.
Yeah, and we've got a lot of experience at looking at planes in the night sky, and we have experience with drones. We know what a flying drone looks like. We know that they emit certain sounds, and they can only move in certain ways. They cannot do a lot of the maneuvers that some of these strange lights do in the UFO and UAP categories. So we have experience with the things that people use to hoax this kind of stuff. So people who want to give us shit and, try to explain these things away as hoaxers, they can also eat our asses. Because we've done that research. We've exposed that stuff.
30 years combined experience of nighttime plane watching.
Oh, yeah. Quite a bit of nighttime plane watching. Nighttime sky watching. We have so much footage of the sky. False, has been filming the sky right above his neighbor's house for so long now.
I have hours of mini DV footage of the sky.
So keep a lookout for the Bridging Realms YouTube channel. We're going to be putting some of these strange light footage out there that we have researched and that we have confirmed. The stuff we don't want to put the too controversial stuff out there. We're going to start with stuff that we have confirmed as UFOs, as UAPs, or as something paranormal, something more. We're going to get those out to you. Like we said, False has so much footage. I have so much footage, and we want to share that with you, the listener. And apparently we do have some listeners on YouTube. Shout out to our YouTube listeners. We eventually might get you guys some footage of these episodes too. Get some footage inside of Studio 51 if, False wants to dress properly for that.
I don't wear pants.
Yeah, sometimes, guys, you don't even know. We're, having this conversation with you and it's only through voice, so you can't see what's going on. We're not filming this like it's the Joe Rogan experience. I am sometimes smoking weed, and sometimes False is drinking while we're doing this podcast. So in that, it's kind of like that fuckhead Joe Rogan, but we're not controlled opposition, of course. We're not spouting CIA scripted bullshit at you. We are here, and False sometimes doesn't wear pants. He's just got his full hog hanging out. I don't know if he means to. I think sometimes it falls out of the front of his boxers. He does not have a button or has not buttoned it, and it just kind of flops out, and I try not to look at it, and I don't tell him about it.
His name is Sonic the Hedgehog because he smells like Sonic food, a Sonic chili dog, and he lives in a hedge of pubes, and he is my hog.
That is what he calls it, is Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm going to say it looks more like the original Sonic design than the redesign that they came out with in the trailer recently. It's more unsettling, with its hairiness, and his balls are spaced kind of far apart. But other than that, I try not to look at it. So let's talk about the subject of today's episode, which is lights in the sky. Strange lights in the sky being spotted all over. We're going to talk about the different types of lights and their origin. First is the most common, I think. It's my wheelhouse, which would be UFOs, extraterrestrial in origin, right?
Yeah, fast-moving lights. They could be fast-moving, and they can also, stop on a dime, be stationary.
Right. These are not moving like any kind of terrestrial craft, hence the name extraterrestrial, right? They're not going to be moving like any kind of plane. They're not going to have one blinking light like our normal planes do. They're not going to be moving at that steady, straight trajectory. They're going to be bouncing all the fuck over. Some of them blink in and out in an erratic manner, as in they could be popping in and out, as in teleportation maybe.
Yeah.
They could be interdimensional. They could be doing some kind of wormhole teleporting. that's just beyond our technology, you know? You could also see these lights in a formation, right? Very common is triangles.
Yeah.
There's also like squares, boxes, maybe like a fucking rhombus, dick-shaped, dongle-shaped, a lot of phallic kind of rods. I've seen some rod lights
Yeah.
in the sky too, just big, long rods flying through the sky. Some of them oscillating. Some of the lights also, the balls or lights also oscillating.
Yeah. Kind of shifting up and down in the middle.
Yeah, dude. I once saw an oscillating one. I mean, I've told this story in the podcast before. It made me shit my pants. It was oscillating right there in the sky, and the vibrations fucking hit me and made me shit my pants.
Yeah.
I've also gotten a boner. Like I've seen these oscillating orbs in the sky. They have affected my boner and caused me to have an erection. Sometimes upwards of 90 minutes. Like a fucking 90-minute hands-free erection.
That's like popping 5 Blue Chew.
Right, that's expensive for you, you know? Like, that's an au natural, too. Like, that's not medically induced. It's an au natural UFO-induced boner. It's a strange light in the sky induced boner. So, I mean, if any of you in our listening audience have an experience like this, if you've seen what you believe to be a UFO or extraterrestrial orb in the sky, we've talked about orbs on the show before. These are lights in the sky. If you've seen one of these, or a rod, or a triangle formation, like the Phoenix lights, you know,
Yeah.
Phoenix lights were in a clear formation. A lot of people have seen these formations. Octagonal. They could be octagonal formations. Pentagonal.
Yeah.
Like a pentagon.
Like a pentagram.
Pentagramminal. They could be pentagramminal. And, you know, there's some weird... We're going to have to do an episode there. There's some weird connections there. Some people think that extraterrestrials, these aliens, could be satanic. That's truly bridging realms there. That these aliens could believe in our Satan. That's wild stuff. And definitely stuff for another episode. I don't want to blow too many minds here when we're just trying to talk about strange lights in the sky, you know?
Yeah, these are the most common light sightings. You're seeing these on Reddit, cell phone videos popping up just on the daily. I mean, sometimes 3 or 4 times a day, you'll get notification, hey, did anybody see these lights over LA? Did anybody see these lights over Arkansas? And it's just a quick little video of some lights zooming by or some lights in a formation.
Right. Even more so, the people who couldn't get their phones out in time or didn't want to crash their car. I don't know how many car accidents I've almost been in by trying to film UFOs because, you know, I can't keep my eyes off the skies even when I'm driving on the highway and I'm supposed to be paying attention to fucking driving. So I'm just, you know, fucking sitting there filming this UFO.
Yeah, Dr. Gene has actually cut holes in his sun visors so he could see through the sun visor still and stare at the sky.
That's right. I have done that, and you know, I've regrettably ran over a few pets, ran into a few yards, knocked over a few mailboxes too, trying to film some UFOs. Got a couple of lawsuits on my hands that I'm trying to, you know, get through because some people happen to step in front of your car while you are filming UFOs. And sometimes courts, especially with the bureaucracy of city courts, they don't understand the importance of filming a UFO and the importance of a possible alien invasion or anything like that, or the importance of fucking disclosure. They just kind of laugh at you, and you do end up having to pay the fines, you know?
Yeah, and people within the truth movement should be exempt from the no cell phone while driving laws.
Really, and they should. And I don't want to go. I'm not going to go all sovereign citizen on them and shit. Like, I'm going to, abide by these rules. I'm going to be a law-abiding citizen. Fucking pay these fines and settle out and shit. But the important thing is, folks, get the footage if you can. If you can't, just share your experience. I see so many posts on Twitter, Reddit, and stuff like that. People just asking, did you see this? Because they didn't have time to film it. They're just like, did you see this happen? And people then come out of the woodwork saying, yeah, we all fucking saw it. And you're not going to see these on the news. The mainstream media is not picking them up as much as they should. They are starting to. They are starting to pick it up in this soft disclosure. So who knows what to trust, But these lights are out there. So just keep watching the skies. Film it if you can, because they are popping up all the time. Hey there, Bridging Realms listeners. It's Dr. Gene Carlisle here.
And I am False Freedom 691.
We'd like to give a shout out to our sponsor for this episode, NASA.
Yes, NASA, the Northern Arkansas Space Administrators.
Very excited to be sponsored by NASA for this, and we're very excited to help them get their message out. They are very excited. They said they've had some huge happenings with the recent lights sighted over Arkansas, which is something we're talking about on this episode.
Yes, according to NASA, the lights indicate a bountiful crop of children to be harvested on the NASA compound.
Great news for all the space administrators there in northern Arkansas. I'm, happy harvest to them. And thank you from all of us at Bridging Realms.
Moving on to the paranormal side of things, I want to focus on the Spooklight, also called the Hornet Spooklight, the Joplin Spooklight, and the Hollis Spooklight.
Yeah, I've heard of this. It's like heard it also called the Tri-State Spooklight. This thing spreads all over. I like that we are bridging the realm from extraterrestrial lights in the sky to paranormal lights in the sky, but this spook light seems to also bridge realms itself, right?
Yeah, and it's named the Hornet Spooklight after an unincorporated area of Missouri that's just called Hornet, which is pretty badass in and of itself.
Sounds horrifying.
Because it's a community of people just kind of living amongst each other, and they have an unofficial name for it. What other unofficial things go on there?
That does sound fucking scary, dude. Like, we have done a lot of travel over these United States, folks, and we've done a lot of research. And I can tell you that the states listed here in which this spook light exists, there are some rural areas that you don't want to fuck with. They're fucking horrifying. That's where backwoods cult things happen. So this is where paranormal stuff is going to be at its height, don't you think, False?
Yeah, this area is actually called the Devil's Promenade.
That's fucked up, dude. The
Yeah.
Devil's Promenade, like, fuck, no. I don't want to fuck with a place like that.
No, that's the kind of place a backwater musician goes to sell their soul. They go to the Devil's Promenade.
That's
they
where
see the Spooklight.
that's where I think that's where Tom DeLonge's gonna be getting fucking spit roasted, dude.
Yeah, they'll be twisting them and turning them and everything.
But it's in these areas where these lights are appearing. These are very dark areas where you're going to be able to see these lights in the skies better than in a city that has a lot of light pollution,
Yeah, more so rural areas. The Spooklight itself has been known to chase people and vehicles.
That's insane, dude. So these things are just seen like out in the woods, like out by swamps and stuff, right?
Yeah, mostly on highways.
You know, and in the Ozarks, you've got these mountains. The Ozarks are mountains, the Ozark Mountains. So it's very mountainous, you know, and there's a lot of hills and valleys, and you can come around a corner and then there's this light, you know, and it can disappear behind the hills and trees and shit. So you're gonna get explanations like, oh, it's just fucking car lamps, you know, like headlights, coming around corners and stuff, reflecting, and that's what people are seeing. And that's just bullshit. You know, we've heard all the bullshit excuses of lights and swamp gas and, you know, natural occurring electromagnetic phenomena like static electricity, all this bullshit that they want to throw at us for, you know, explanations. And I'm not buying any of them. I know False isn't either.
No, this bullshit fucking asshole professor Alan Rice of UCO investigated the spooklight and made a video dispelling the spooklight by recreating it with his headlights and released a fucking documentary about it.
No, dude, well, I'm gonna have to watch this now. I mean, I have you've probably watched it in our research. What was your verdict?
I choke-jacked myself to it because I was just so angry watching this piece of shit. I had to have the noose around my neck. I had to be cranking the hog. Otherwise, I just couldn't even stand it. I would have got furious. I would have thrown my TV out the fucking window. My mom would have been pissed. But if I'm just in there choke-jacking it, I can control myself and control that rage, channel that rage into my hog while I'm just so fucking furious about this goddamn movie. Will you get the noose?
I'm not going to condone that, man. I'm not going to get the noose, especially
Come on, get the noose
while we're on air. I'm just going to say this documentary is exposed as like false. This dude trying to recreate a spook light with his fucking car headlights. That's bullshit. We know that's bullshit, especially with the level of these sightings, the frequency, how it's gone across tri-state areas. Like, I mean, what's going to travel across tri-state areas through these hills and valleys? You know, fuck that, dude.
Hey, I know you don't want to get the noose, but there's a red scarf sitting over there. I want to use
yours? Did you bring that in here? That's not mine.
I mean, I don't know where it came from, but I just need it for something.
I'm not sure where it came from either, but I do want to remind our listeners to check out our previous episode from last week, in which we discuss our theory that we think is the prevalent theory. Jeffrey Epstein did kill himself. Wow, what another heavy-hitting, in-depth episode. I'm still shook from all the research we did and all the lights videos we watched for this episode.
Yeah, we did a really great job on this one. It's hard-hitting. It bridges realms for people. It bridges extraterrestrial and paranormal realms. I mean, we should really get a lot of listens out of this.
Yeah, I'm so excited to have this mix of paranormal and extraterrestrial stuff in the same episode. I love bridging these realms and getting this stuff out there. I love talking about these lights. You know, these are things that have been around for so long. Like, we've had spook lights and UFO lights, and they're really just American traditions at this point. So I'm glad to be able to talk about this and get this information out there to our listeners. I hope to hear back from some of you guys out there about your experiences with lights. Tell us, were they UFOs? Were they more paranormal in nature? Do you feel like you saw aliens or a spook light. Let us know, and if you think it was just car headlights or something, you can fuck right off, because we're not dealing with that kind of shit here at Bridging Realms. So we'll see you next week here at Bridging Realms.
Bridging Realms is a part of the Bridging Realms Network in association with the Bridging Realms Project, with additional support provided by realmies like you.